Hey guys, so today we're going over Fortunate Son. Wanted to go into a little bit more detail on this. It's a great CCR song, by the way. All right, so the way that I'm going to play these initial intervals to play the intro, when I'm playing going up to the 9th fret on the 4th string, I'm doing that with my middle finger. I'm going to team that up with my index finger for the 8th fret on the 2nd string, like this. And this really fits my hand very well when I have one fret in front of the other and I'm playing two strings, making basically a 6th interval there. It's a minor 6. And that's the best way to finger that. Now I'm going to take that same riff and drop it down 2 frets, and that's the second part of the riff. Same shape, 2 frets lower. This time on the 7th fret, 4th string, 6th fret on the 2nd string. My third riff drops back here to the 3rd fret of the 4th string with my middle finger. And I'm going to slide it, but this time I'm going to team it up with the 5th fret on the 2nd string. So both fingers will be on the 5th fret. So there I want my middle finger to play the 4th string and my ring finger to play your 2nd string, like this. And then for the last riff, I use my middle finger and slide again 3 to 5 on the 4th string. And I just stretch back and use my index finger to catch the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. If that's too much of a stretch for you, it feels uncomfortable, you could do that slide with ring finger from 3 to 5 on the 4th string. And team it up with the index finger again. Either one works fine. I've just been using my middle finger for the rest of the riff, so I just continue to use my middle finger. And at the end of that sequence, you will have the 1st fret on your 5th string, a little bit of a pull on that, like quarter pull, and then the 3rd fret, the G note on the 6th string. Again, as I mentioned in the first video, that is really another track covering that particular last little riff, that 1 and 3. But we can put it in there. We have time to do it. If you don't put it in, it sounds like you'll miss it. You'll definitely miss it. All right, so again, through this very slowly. Now, if you find that a little bit hard to keep track of in the middle of the neck here, we're really utilizing all the marker dots. So when I slide, I'm going from the 3rd marker dot to the 4th marker dot, the 7 to 9. And then, of course, I'll just play 1 fret behind it for my index finger. Second riff, same way. We're going to go 5 to 7. 1 fret back on the 2nd string. And then on the marker dots, 3 to 5. And then 3 to 5 again. So you can really utilize the marker dots to keep track of where you're supposed to be. And of course down here is 1 to 3. Now in the first video I did mention that the original song was played on a guitar that was a whole step down. If you watch Fogerty play this, he usually uses a black Les Paul Custom, and it will be tuned a whole step down. So when he starts going into the verse, he's going to be playing all these open chords. He's actually playing in this position. This will be the wrong key, but this is the shape he'll be making. So that's why he decided to tune a whole step down. He can play in the key he wants to play in and he's using open chords. Now I decided to arrange this on a standard tune guitar because I know that most of you would look at it and say, well, I don't want to tune my guitar down a whole step, or if you did, it would really rattle and not play very well, so you wouldn't get much out of this song. So I'm playing it in the correct key, but on a standard tune guitar, so my hands are going to be in different positions. So there in the illustration, I was playing an A chord shape, but he's actually sounding like a G, because he's a whole step down. So I'm getting ready to cover the verse in the next section. Make sure you have the tab sheet in front of you if you don't already. Also, you might want to stop the video here and just go over the intro a few times until you have that down. It's classic. As soon as you play the first section, just this, everybody knows what song you're playing. All right, next up is going to be the verse. Alright guys, so now we're covering the verse to Fortunate Son. I'm using all bar chords here, and that's because I am tuned standard and I want to be able to play it in the right key. So I'm using several chords. I'm going to be using the G major chord, third fret bar there. It's basically your E major shape. Just moved up 1 fret, 2 frets, 3 frets. From the bar on on the 3rd string, so I use this chord. It's called a G major. We're really just playing the bottom 4 strings from the 3rd string to the 6th string. And then I'll shift to the F chord, which is exactly the same shape, 2 frets lower. The 3rd chord I'm playing is actually a 5th string rooted shape usually. I'm going to be playing the C chord at the 3rd position, but I'm actually putting the 5th of the chord in the bass. So I'll be holding the 3rd fret of both the 5th and 6th strings and the 5th fret of the 3rd and 4th strings. And that's a C G. So it means it's a C chord, but with a G bass note. If you look at your tab sheets here, I have all of them charted for the chord charts as well as in the tablature. So the rhythm we're going to use for this verse is going to be this. Then you'll see these little shapes that look like a backward 7. Those are actually 8th rests. Those are sections where we're going to be silent. You usually don't have rests printed in tablature, but I have them here for you. So it'll be a down up on the G, just a brief moment of silence, then a down on G, down on, and then silence again, down on G, and then an open 6th string. So it'll be. Notice that there's no rest between the last G and the open note. We sustain the chord and then open note. Then we move down to the F, same rhythm. Now this time we're going to do an upstroke on F right before we go to C, G. Same on C, G, going back to G. So I'm going to play it slow from the beginning of the verse. Now that requires that you shift from the F to the CG very quickly, as well as CG back to G fairly fast. So practice it at a slow rate of speed like I just did, over and over and over again. Maybe stop the video here, loop that section, and go over it quite a few times. When you're rehearsing with videos online, if you want to play along with Fogarty, this would be in the same key and you could do that. Make sure you're playing the studio version and you're practicing with it because it will be slower. Most times when he plays this song live, it's really fast. I don't recommend doing that. I don't think it sounds as good that quick, but it's a live situation, and so you'll see that sometimes. So this is a verse section. You just need to know the chords G, bar chord, F bar chord, and C, G. And might as well go ahead and memorize those chords because you will see these chords again over and over in many, many songs. Next up is going to be the chorus. Okay guys, that's the chorus to Fortunate Son. Now, different chords here. We're going to still use G. We're going to be using a chord called DA, which is just like the CG chord, but just moved up 2 frets. Then we drop back to CG, and then back to G. So really only one new chord. The DA up here is a D chord with an A bass note. The rhythm, however, changes here. We're going to start off with this kind of a rhythm. So it's going to be. That's going to be the basic rhythm for all the chords on the chorus section except the DA. The DA is going to duplicate the rhythm from the verse. Where to go? And yes, he does this every time I could find him playing it. Always played it this way, so it's definitely the way the song goes. So slowly we'll do G, D with the different rhythm, C with the chorus rhythm, and then G with the chorus rhythm. And without me talking over it, check it out. Great place to set a loop point here. Go over that as many times as you have to get it right. You can slow it down, don't forget that, and use your tab sheets on this. Just watch that changing rhythm on the chorus because it goes back and forth in the song like this, and definitely goes right along with the rhythm of the vocals, so you want to make sure to nail that. One other section coming up is the interlude, and I'm going to cover that next. That's the interlude, guys. Awesome part of the song. They only go through it twice, and that's the only time you'll see it in the song. It's great. All these are minor third intervals, so that's why it kind of sounds off color a little bit. And so it's basically middle finger on your third string throughout. Index finger will be playing the second string. I'm going to be playing the 7th fret and the 6th fret initially, and just strike them. And then move a half step down to 5 and 6. And then you're going to strike that a second time and slide down to 1 and 2. And then strike that and come right back up. So it goes. We slide on that 1, 2 to 3 and 4, and then repeat the whole thing. So we don't slide everywhere. You're going to want to hear this. You're not going to want to hear the slide from the 6 and 7 to 5 and 6. You play those separately. But then we do hit the 5 and 6 and hear the slide down to 1 and 2. And then from 1 and 2 up to 3 and 4. Then when I go back up to the 6 and 7, very short slide. So you just, but not, we don't hear that. So you can silence it with your right hand. I just allow my hand to just barely touch the strings. It silences it. Then I can go back up to the first part of it, which is going to be the 6 and the 7. So I do it very fast. I hit that and immediately strike the strings. Okay, guys, so that is how you play the interlude. Now what you want to do is set loop points around that, learn that, and have that down in your pocket. You can play that, you've got that riff down. You don't have to even think about it. When it comes to that part of the song, you play a riff that you've already known. The way we do that is we rehearse it many, many times, and we've got it down. Maybe even before you start playing the song, you just rehearse that a couple times to make sure that you're fresh with it. So when you get to that point in the song, you can just whip that out and play it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love this song. We want to hear comments section down below. Let me know what you think of this song, anything else we're doing here at Guitar Animal. Thank you all for being members. I'll see you next time.